Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dee Dee. Welcome if you are new. Today in this video, I will be sharing two meals with you. I will be sharing Jamaican style jerk chicken and rice and peas, as well as Jamaican style chicken soup. I will also be sharing two sauces I like to keep on hand that I use with most of my proteins. This is the Jamaican style green sauce as well as the Jamaican style jerk chicken. So let's dive right into the video. So in this first video, I have my peas cooking on the stove. I have already washed them and they were soaking for several hours before I started cooking them. I like to keep dry beans on hand, and if you have a pressure cooker, you can significantly decrease the time it takes to cook dried beans, or if you have a pressure canner, you can keep beans on hand already cooked on your shelf. I don't have either, and so I'm doing a slow cooking process, and I know it's going to take a while to cook, so I like to put the peas on first while I attend to other things. So here I am getting ready to make my Jamaican style chicken soup. This soup contains a lot of vegetables, and here I am pointing out the vegetables that I will be including that have already been washed and cut to size. I'll be using pumpkin, corn, thyme, green onions. I also have carrots, celery, turnip, white potatoes, and in Jamaica we call it chocho. I'm not sure what the word is that is used here. I will also be including some chicken, as it is chicken soup. I like to buy whole chickens when I shop at the grocery store, and so this morning I cut up the whole chicken and I've divided into two portions. I'm going to use half of the chicken for my chicken soup, and the next half will be used for the jerk chicken, which I will be demonstrating later. The next thing I'm going to be making is a Jamaican style green sauce. This green sauce contains a lot, and all the things that I'll be discussing in today's video will be linked in the description box below. If you would like to know all the ingredients to include in a Jamaican style chicken soup, I will have that linked below. All the ingredients necessary for the Jamaican style green sauce, I will also include that below. I'm using this blender that is older than my children. It is probably about 19 years old. This has been a tried and true blender. I love it, and I have used it for so many things. All my children's baby food was made in this blender, and I've used it to make so many different things, and I just love it. It's old, but I love it. It's tried and true and very trusted. So to get this blender to work, I always have to put a little bit of liquid at the bottom to get it going. So here you'll see me putting some liquid in. This is filtered water that I try to keep on my shelf as much as possible, as well as all the greens that I've included. You'll see that I put green onions, garlic, white onions, parsley, cilantro. Those are just some of the ingredients that can be found in this Jamaican style green sauce. And I love this sauce. I use it on everything. It is the base of most of my proteins. So we primarily will eat chicken, fish, and on occasion we will also eat shrimp. That is our main diet. And so whenever I'm making any style of chicken, any style of shrimp, any style of fish, green sauce is my number one go-to. It will have the flavor that you're looking for. It will also pack a punch. Now, with my green sauce, I do not include a lot of pepper because my family does not really like that level of pepper that is associated with Jamaican cooking. So I try to keep my sauce mild. But if you like that punch, if you like to pack in that heat, you're welcome to include that as well. Both my husband and I are Jamaican, born and raised, and so we are always craving that flavor. And I try to ensure that whenever I'm cooking, I have that distinctive Jamaican flavor in the food as well. So it's going to take me a few rounds with this blender to blend up everything for this green sauce. And when I'm finished, I would have made 2 quarts of this green sauce, and this will last in my fridge maybe 2 weeks because I use a lot of the green sauce when I cook. This is not shelf stable, so if you can, this is not something that I would can and put on my shelf. I will make this and immediately put it within my refrigerator, and again it will last in my fridge for about 2 weeks. Also included in this green sauce recipe will be bell peppers, tomato, onions, garlic like I said before, and if you like that peppery heat, you can also include whatever pepper you like. So when I'm seasoning my proteins, I like to use this as the base. I will still add salt, black pepper, all-purpose seasoning, whatever other seasonings you like to use that are dried and in your pantry, you can still use those in addition to this green sauce. This green sauce can be used to season your proteins, and you can put them in the fridge overnight so that the protein has a chance to soak in that green sauce. I do that when I have the time to do that, but this day I didn't have a chance, obviously, to do the frizz soaking of the seasoning into my proteins, so I put it right on the meat. It doesn't matter because either way, I still get that flavor that I'm looking for. Like I said before, this green sauce has been a lifesaver. I've been using it for maybe a year now since I discovered how to make it on my own, and it has been a game changer for cooking time. I can put it on the protein that I'm working with, and that flavor that is synonymous with Jamaican cooking comes through every time. This is a salt-free recipe, and I like that because I can always add salt later when I'm seasoning my protein and I'm ready to cook it. So to ensure that I have even seasoning across my quart-sized jars, I'm going to pour what I have blended into a bowl. I'm going to stir it, and then I will portion it out into my quart-sized jars. So now that I have finished blending my green sauce, I will portion them out and put them in a quart-sized jar. Look at that, guys. It is thick, it is chunky, and it has all the flavor that is synonymous with Jamaican cooking. The only thing that I did not include in my green sauce today was pimento seeds. Pimento seeds is one of the distinctive flavors that you will find in Jamaican cooking. Unfortunately, I didn't have any today, but I will have to make sure that I pick some up the next time I go to the grocery store. Okay, so now, again, I'm making Jamaican-style jerk chicken for dinner, and I didn't have any jerk sauce on hand, so I used some of the same seasonings and created my own jerk sauce. The recipe for the green sauce and the recipe for this jerk sauce that I'm using will be included in the description box below. This jerk sauce does not have that potent punch that is synonymous with the Jamaican style cooking, again because my family were not so much into the heat. I did include some, but guys, I need my family to eat the food, so I'm not about to put a whole bunch of heat in there and then nobody wants to eat it. So I did include some Jamaican style peppers, but not as much as the recipe called for because I wanted my family to enjoy the dish. So yes, I made this jerk sauce. I didn't follow the recipe to a T, but if you'd like to know what was included in the recipe, you can find it listed below in the description box. I try not to use too many peppers when I'm cooking as I want my family to enjoy the dish. So I'm using the same blender that I used before. Again, it has similar ingredients to what was in the green sauce, so I just used the same thing. No sense messing up another blender. So I'm not making as much jerk sauce as I will be making the green sauce, as I don't cook jerk chicken as frequently and I don't want to have too much on hand because again, this lasts about 2 weeks in the refrigerator and I don't want it going rancid. The jerk sauce does include some oil and it will go rancid, so you have to refrigerate it. Again, this is not something that I would can and keep on the shelf because I do not have a pressure canner. To give the sauce that traditional brown look, I'll be using Jamaican-style browning. That will give it flavor and the color that is synonymous with Jamaican jerk sauce. After blending the fresh ingredients, I will also be adding some dried seasoning to the mix to finish off the jerk sauce. Again, the list of ingredients can be found down below. While the green sauce is salt-free, the jerk sauce is not, so I will be adding some salt to the mix before I refrigerate it. I also add a little bit of salt directly onto the protein so that I get that flavor that I'm looking for. All right, guys, so now my sauce is done. I've had enough to almost fill a quart-size mason jar. I'm just going to ladle this in and get going with the rest of the cooking for the day. It is thick and it's very rich. Like most other people, I usually pick up jerk sauce from the grocery store if I was intending to make jerk chicken at some point. But with many things in the last year or so, I've tried to make them in my kitchen, and this sauce worked out really nice. I really love it. And so since discovering this recipe, I no longer have to buy the pre-made sauce from the store. I'm happy to share other DIY swaps that I've made in my kitchen. So if that's something that you're interested in, I can include those in future videos as well. As stated before, my husband and I are both Jamaican. We were born and raised there. Our children are being exposed to the Jamaican culture through a variety of means. Food is a big one, so we still continue to feed our children the way we were fed as children, and I'm really fortunate to be in a location where I can get access to a lot of the same flavors, just a lot of the same foods we ate as children growing up. For those I cannot find, I've been on the hunt to recreate in my kitchen. So I'm still able to introduce them to a lot of the flavors, a lot of the foods that we ate when we were growing up by DIYing certain things in my kitchen. So now both sauces are finished. My green sauce is ready to go. My jerk sauce is ready to go. And the rest of the chicken that I cut up earlier is set and ready to go. It's been washed with vinegar and it's ready to be seasoned. So I use both the sauces on my protein whenever I'm cooking. I will include the green sauce on here. I will include the jerk sauce. And additionally, I will put some of the dried seasoning on top. Then I'm going to go in with my clean hands and I'm going to season the meat. Ideally, you would like to do this from the night before, as I stated before, because that will give the protein time to soak in all the juices. I didn't have time to do that today, but I will show you how I will season this up and get it ready for the oven. I'm adding some all-purpose seasoning, some paprika, a little bit more salt, and maybe some black pepper. Now, traditionally, Jamaican-style jerk chicken is made on the grill. I don't have an outdoor grill, and so I'm going to show you how I recreate a grill in my oven. I simply use a baking tray covered with parchment paper, and on top of that, I will put a cookie cooling tray. I will season the tray with a generous layer of butter, and then on top of that, I will put my protein, in this case, chicken. And then I will follow the recipe for cooking time and temperature. Halfway through cooking, you're going to flip the chicken and then continue. If you have any additional seasoning, you can add that to your chicken to baste it once again. At the end of your hour, you're going to remove the chicken from the grill and put it in a covered container to continue cooking for the remainder of the time. Your covered container can be a casserole dish with a lid, or if you use foil paper, you can put your chicken in a casserole dish and cover it with foil. I eliminated foil from our kitchen years ago, so I have not used foil paper in many, many years. I was able to replace foil paper in my kitchen by getting a covered casserole dish. And so that was how I was able to replace using aluminum foil in my kitchen. So now that my chicken is seasoned, I'm going to stick it in the oven and let it start cooking. Here is a clip of what's going on in my soup pot. I have since added all of the vegetables into the pot. They've been cooking for a while now, and it is time to add my soup packets. I'm using 2 different types of soup packets, one that is a traditional soup packet from Jamaica and one that is not. I've added 3 packs of soup packets to this pot of soup. This is a large stock pot and I want that traditional Jamaican flavor. I did not include any peppers in this soup, and I did not include any dumplings either. This was a thin, light chicken soup, and it worked out great, especially on this cold day. I have so far not added any salt to the pot, and so this is when I will add the salt for that final 20 or 30 minutes of simmer time. All right, guys, I think my soup is almost done. I've added enough salt to my taste, and I'm going to add a few sprigs of fresh thyme and a few stalks of green onion. I will close my pot and I will leave it to simmer for a few more minutes. So I did not get a chance to film this, but my peas were cooked all the way through. I washed my rice and I added it to my peas, and now my peas are fully cooked and my rice are fully cooked. So my rice and peas is ready. I also put a few sprigs of thyme and a few stalks of green onion on the side of my pot just towards the end so that it can have that aromatic flavor that is synonymous with Jamaican rice and peas. So my rice is flaky and shelly and it is ready for our plates. All right, you guys, here you have it, Jamaican style jerk chicken and rice and peas. If you would like the recipe and the ingredients list, please check the description box below. You will also see Jamaican style chicken soup in the description box as well. You can check to see the recipe. Everything came out phenomenally, tasted wonderful, and it was just the perfect thing we needed on this cold day. Also included in the description box will be Jamaican style jerk sauce and Jamaican style green sauce. Again, I use this green sauce on everything as a base. I put 2 to 3 tablespoons depending on the amount of protein that I'm using, and I also still season with my dry ingredients just to ensure that flavor that I'm looking for is included in our meals. Once again, have a look. Here is the plate for the day. I added some tomatoes because we need that freshness on the plate. If there's anything that you saw in the video today and you'd like more information about, feel free to leave a message below. If you're watching from another country, let me know where you're watching from as well. Thanks for checking out my video today. I'll see you next time.